in the wonderful state of South Dakota. South Dakota is very different from Texas in many ways, considering it is way up north. It's very green, it's a beautiful place, and to be more specific, I am in the Black Hills region. It has tons of history, tons of wildlife, snow melt and rain, lots of rain. The weather has been actually pretty difficult lately, so I can't believe it. We've got some blue sky, not a cloud in the sky as far as I can see. And another really cool thing about South Dakota is someone you know very well is from here. Now who could that be? Oh, me! So yeah, it was a pretty big change going from South Dakota all the way down to Texas when I was like 8 years old or so. My first adventures happened here. I caught my first fish here. There are all sorts of cool fish that we don't have much of in Texas that I'll hopefully catch while I'm in South Dakota, such as the walleye, yellow perch, northern pike, and you might have heard when I was breathing really hard, the elevation really does have an effect on your lungs when you are running, due to the thin air and what's not. But I'm going to go down and set up camp and maybe do some fishing. So see you guys on the other side. I decided to keep moving up this hill thing here to show you guys something really awesome. So, seen tons of cool things coming up this trail, lots of cool rocks and stuff. But take a look at this view. Well, there's the United States of America. I guess someone felt patriotic on their hike up here. And look, you can see way out there where the flatlands start and where that Black Hills actually start. So that's cool. Just beautiful trees and forests all around. Lots of areas to be explored. Lots of mosquitoes thriving. Really cool, really awesome, fun hike. But now, it's time to go downhill. I keep trying to get down the mountain, but there's just too many interesting things. Take a look at this. These rocks are everywhere, these quartz or something. But look, it turns black. I think that's really cool. It's like a Dalmatian or something. I don't know if that's rare, but it's pretty rare for me because I've never seen that before. Okay, you guys, so I've come across this little creature right here, and it's one of the mini animals. Oop. Oh, he's on the run. It's a yellow-bellied marmot, like the marmots they have in Washington, except it's a different breed. Don't know where he went now. He's pretty chubby. Oh, there he is. Let's go. Where did he go? Around here somewhere. But yeah, guys, that's a yellow-bellied marmot, and I'm not sure what kind of other species of marmots are around this area, but I know the yellow-bellied marmot is here because, of course, I just saw it. But he was a fast little bugger, even though he was a bit overweight for his size. He probably went into these rocks right here, but there is tons of poison ivy right here. I'm going to try and stand clear of that. Where did you go, mister? He had the advantage on me. He was small and he snuck into little crevices. Probably went in those bushes somewhere. His house might be there. But yeah, you guys, that's the yellow-bellied marmot. One of the many adorable, cool little creatures in the Black Hills. Okay, you guys, so now for my favorite part of adventuring around, we get to do some fishing. In these areas, there are trout. Trout are pretty common. Rainbow trout is probably the most common. Then there's brook trout, brown trout, tiger trout, speckled trout, all sorts of other trout. Trout also like the streams and stuff. And did you know that there's over 400 miles of streams going through the Black Hills, and there's over 14 mountain lakes. So I'll get to try a few of those mountain lakes and maybe even some of the streams. Now, spinners are very good for trout, and multiple other fish as well as panfish, bass maybe, pike, walleye, all sorts of cool little fishies. But yeah, I've caught multiple trout on this particular spinner before, so this little part right here reflects the light, so it's better when it's sunny out. But we'll try it anyway because it has managed to work at night, which is pretty odd. It's got these little beads here, I guess for weight or for presentation, and then some little fur here to make it look like probably no in particular creature, because this doesn't look like an animal. But yeah, so I'm gonna throw it out and see if I can't manage to snag a fishy. I'm not gonna actually snag it because that's illegal for most fish in South Dakota. I'm gonna catch it with its mouth biting onto the lure. So yeah. Okay, you guys, so right off the bat I managed to capture this little guy. Now trout are delicate fish, so try and keep them out of the water as short as possible. I'm going to get my hand wet real quick. Maybe not, it's kind of far down. Real fun little fish to catch, pretty common in the Black Hills. I quit it, you. But this guy happens to be a rainbow trout. Now the difference between a rainbow trout and let's say like a brown trout or a brook trout, there's a lot of common differences, and the rainbow trout has a pink shiny stripe. This one's not as vibrant down the side of him. He's green on top, got all these spots and stuff. And rainbow trout are actually really common. So yeah, there he is. He's got a round nose, unlike most other fish like bass and stuff. Little mouth, but I'm gonna let him go. Finally found some warmer, drier weather in South Dakota. Now, why is South Dakota so amazing? Well, it's very different from part to part because I was just in the Black Hills with big trees and big mountains and rivers and streams everywhere, very wet vegetation. And then you've got these big plains and grasslands with the prairie dogs and the black-footed ferrets. And then you've got this. Now, it's very sandy and dry, as you can see. That's not very fertile soil at all. And very little vegetation, little tent, stalactite formations everywhere that are cool. And you can just see the layers of geological formation as the different conditions of each year changed and how wind eroded away and everything. It's very elaborate around the state of South Dakota, and this is just an example because right here you've got this big dry area, and then a couple miles or so away you've got big green fields and everything. And there's some really cool rocks here. Rock hounding is actually a pretty popular activity around these areas, but I'm gonna keep moving. Okay, you guys, so here's a little friend I have discovered here, and this is a turtle. It's either a painted, yeah, I think it might be a painted turtle. Not quite sure because I'm not gonna touch him since he's like wild and he doesn't want to be disturbed. But he's a pretty quick little bugger, climbing through the grass. Look at him go, real cute. His name is Timberland the tortoise. Say goodbye to Timberland. Goodbye, Timberland. So I've been walking around through the beautiful grasslands of South Dakota, and as you can see right here, there are some buffalo tracks, those 2 big hooves, and buffalo chips. So there are multiple signs of evidence for buffaloes in this area, including the buffaloes right back there. But that's a dead giveaway. And I've got a little friend back here that I'm going to show you. Now this little guy helps out one of my 5 endangered species a lot. And can you guess which one that is? Well, it's the black-footed ferret. The black-footed ferret actually lives in this area, and the black-footed ferret is having difficulty surviving due to a plague that's killing off these little guys, prairie dogs, and the black-footed ferrets. So it's not very good. The black-footed ferrets needs 3 different things like most animals do to survive: food, water, and shelter. Now these guys provide 2, since they do eat the prairie dogs. That's food. Shelter, they steal their house afterwards, and water they gotta go find by themselves. But yeah, the prairie dogs get the bad end of that, and they're pretty a good resource for the black-footed ferret. But let's get a little closer to him. As you can see, he's just sitting down right now like a little person. He's breathing out, getting some nice sun. Very cute little bugger. He's got some nice claws for digging out holes, and they'll have whole little prairie dog towns, mosquitoes, which is what they call like little colonies and stuff. But there's Mr. Prairie Dog one more time, and I am going to keep moving. There's a prairie dog over there, prairie dog right there, prairie dog right there, prairie dog right there. There was one right, oh, there's 2 right there. There's a bison over there. All sorts of prairie dogs. There's one way up there. But they're pretty common in this area, but they are slowly declining in population, which is not good. Ooh, look at the size of that bison chip. Imagine having to squeeze that out of you. Now, ferrets do live in prairie dog holes, which is what this is. The reason that I thought it would be a black-footed ferret den is because there's these little bones that could possibly be prairie dog bones. Not quite sure, but that would be my guess. And since ferrets are obligate carnivores, and those are bones, I would think a ferret would have left those, because prairie dogs, I don't think, eat other animals. There's some more little bones. This is little prairie dog droppings, and they look fairly fresh. So maybe this was just a kill site, or a prairie dog just died naturally. I don't know, I'll keep looking. Ferrets, these black-footed ferrets are nocturnal, so maybe they'll come out later in the evening. But boy, you can sure hear those prairie dogs being territorial. Guys, I am on a lake in eastern South Dakota. Now, a cool thing about South Dakota is it's very wet, lots of snow melt and rain. So this lake a long time ago used to be a slough, and there's lots of sloughs around the area. Now a slough is just like a little pool of water off in the fields, and there's actually a road running through here, and it's just filled up with water over time. But I am going to try some fishing out, and I've got a bait caster reel on this rod. I'll show you in a little bit because it's different from most reels that I use. I got a titanium leader and a little barrel swivel, and I'm just putting on this little shad wrap is what it's called, and it's chartreuse. Now northerns actually like the color chartreuse, white, yellow, because it looks like the belly of a fish, because they like to go for the easier game if they have the chance. But it's also good for walleye, so hopefully we'll snag a few walleye. It's got 2 treble hooks right here, and I'll just let it out quite a ways. Do 30 passes on each, and each pass is about 6 feet or so. But this is a bait casting reel, and what you do is you just click this button and it'll let out line, which I'll show you in a little bit. And it's got the reel right here, and you can loosen and tighten the drag. But let's see our luck. So, not after too long, we managed to snag a fish. Now, this is one of the many fish in this lake. This is a walleye. But this guy is a priority fish. It's very delicious. Quit that! So take two. This is a walleye. It's one of the many fish in this lake. And the walleye is a very pretty fish, and it's actually a pretty desirable fish. They are really good to eat. When you get a bigger one, they'll actually have some meat on their cheek. They got meat all the way down the side. You gotta be careful with these guys because they do have sharp gill plates right there and sharp dorsal fins, so you don't want to get stuck by those guys. They also have some nasty teeth, so you can't hold them like you do a bass. Look at those guys chomping down on little fish like these that he just scooped up. I'll throw those over in a little bit. But this guy is approximately 14 inches, and we are going to save him for tonight. Put him in the live well, and he's good to go. So this here is a northern pike. Now they have two relatives in the area. There's muskie, and then the hybrid is a tiger muskie, so that's a pike and a muskie. But these guys are a pretty mean fish. They're actually predators, and you can tell because they have sensory pores on the bottom of their mouth and the top of their head. That's for sensing electric waves when fish move around. So you can see it right up there. They're real cool. He's also got a duck bill, and he's just built for being a predator. He's real long and thin and fast. He's also got super sharp teeth right there. Their favorite snack is walleye. So that's not a plus, but what they do. And they've also got very cool patterns to blend in with the weeds. And yeah, real cool fish, but we're gonna throw them back because they have a lot of Y bones in them, so they're pretty difficult to eat. So goodbye, Mr. Northern. Come on. Oh, big Northern, geez. So here's a really good fish. If we like to eat northern, this guy would totally be coming home with us, but we don't. This guy just has tons of teeth. Oh my gosh. But look at those gills when they flare out. He's got a huge mouth, could eat really big perch. But the way these guys are built, they're built for being predators. So the way their fins are positioned, they're actually able to stay in a certain position in the water for a very long time. So a fish swims by, they don't see him moving around or moving with the water. So he's able to just lurch out and grab him. But this guy's going back in the water. So right now I am filming the walleye in the live well. We've got about four or five. And the limit for South Dakota is 4 a person. And we've got quite a few people on board, so we're still in legal limits. These guys are swimming around, and the reason, if you keep a northern, you probably don't want to put it in here because they do have a very smelly slime on them that can stink up your boat pretty bad. So yeah, the walleye are a nice fish to have in the live well. This boat is equipped with 2 live wells, one back here, which is the bigger one, and then one up there, which is a bit deeper one. And here's a funny little story. When my brother was younger, he was a baby, and he actually had an accident in the boat, so he had to take a bath up there in the live well. Don't tell anybody I said that because he won't like me telling that story to you guys. But it's okay. A live well is a good way to preserve fish when you're out fishing. It's not good to keep a fish in a live well and then let it go. It's actually illegal in the state of South Dakota. And back to the northerns. Northern slime, since they have so much slime, it'll start to produce as they get scared, since it's adaptation for life, will actually kill other species of fish such as walleye if they're in the live well together. But I've got to go catch another fish, so if it's a good one, see you guys in a little bit. So here's another fun fish I haven't caught since I was a little kid out here, but it's actually pretty rare for this lake, but they are out here. This is called a yellow perch. Very, very pretty fish. It's different from most perch around the United States. Got these stripes on him, black stripes and yellowish greenish tint to him. There he is. But he struck the plug or lure, whichever you prefer to call it. Pretty nice. Got a little leech or something on his tail. Oh, it's like a little grub worm swimming through him. Yeah, pulled those up. But there is no size limit on these guys, and you can have 10 in daily possession. One time there was actually 25 in daily possession, so you could rack up these guys pretty nice. But he is edible, and you can see those really pretty yellow fins right there. But he is going to the live well with our friends the walleyes. Hey you guys, so I am doing one of my favorite pastime things that I did as a little kid, and that is collecting wild nightcrawlers. Now, I collect these as fishing bait, and I used to sell them when I was younger, and it's a fun thing I like to do with my grandpa. And we actually get quite a few. There's tons out here right now. You go out after a good rain during the nighttime. That's why they're called night crawlers. These guys are pretty lively since they're just brand new. But you'll just go up and you'll see where he's out at, because there'll be a one-sided hole and one side will be his head. And you put your finger down on where he is in the hole, and then you grab his head and you pull him out. But be careful not to snap him, and if you do snap him, don't put him in with the rest of them, because it will soil the bunch and it'll most likely kill him. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess it's just like if you have a bunch of humans in a cage and you throw a dead one in there, it's probably not going to end well. But yeah, so let's go see if we can get some night crawlers. Okay, put up a fight. Try not to scare them away, but here's two night crawlers mating. You can see they're touching together, and this is a 2-in-1 grab, so let's see what we can do. Whoop. Oh, don't slip, you, don't slip. Oh, I almost lost him. 3 mating. One just went between my toes. But it's getting pretty late. I've been out here about 20 minutes or so. Done pretty well. As you can see, it's about a quarter or so full. Ooh, you guys got a night crawler behind you. He got away. Oh well, we got enough. But thanks for night crawler hunting with me. And I'm gonna go wash my hands. I got night crawler slime, like spider webs between my hands. But fun little activity is night crawler hunting, so maybe you want to try it. If you're in one of these northern states or so, I'm in eastern South Dakota right now, and it's got very fertile, brown, nice soil after a good rain. Go out and get these guys during the night. Go use them as night crawler bait, fishing bait. I've got my worm farm right here, and we've got this bedding, which is actually shredded newspaper, torn up newspaper, and you can actually buy it at different outdoor stores. But we got our last night's hunt right here, and we're just gonna plop them in there. There they go. And what you want to do is you want to be careful with the bedding, because if it gets too wet, it can actually contract mold and it can kill the worms. If it's too dry, the worms don't get their proper moisture to create slime, so that can also kill them. When you put these guys in the bedding, let them find their own way down, let them dig, so just in case you accidentally threw some broken ones in there or some sick ones that didn't end up so well in the fight when you pulled them out of the ground, they won't be able to dig down. The healthy ones will, so every day or so look on top and see if there's any unhealthy ones, and if there are, you want to get rid of them because they can actually kill the rest of your worms. Make sure to keep them in a cold area like your fridge. It's a nice place to keep them. But yeah, so they're here and they'll dig down and be happy, and when you need them, just get out a few and put them in a little cup. Okay, you guys, so I have finally managed to find my ticket out of here right here, and I have had experience and memories of riding four-wheelers as a small child through the Black Hills. But what an amazing state. I was so happy to finally show you guys South Dakota, the state from which I was hatched, and it's just a beautiful state in my opinion. I love it. Lots of great fishing. Got to catch fish I haven't caught in a long time. Caught to catch fish I've never caught on film before. There's ducks and loons flying around behind me. There's deer everywhere. I'm sorry, Mir. In South Dakota, as I mentioned, there's lots of rain and snow melt, which gathers up in these sloughs. There's one behind me, there's one over there, one over there. They're everywhere, and eventually they will turn into lakes, like the lake I was fishing on when I caught the walleye and the northern and the birds and all that. But you can see behind me there are actually soybean crops, and there's soybean crops and lots of corn crops around. But I'm about to take off and continue heading east. Got my helmet and my glasses. So until next time, you guys, stay wild!